Okay, time for a little update. It's been quite a while since I did one because, frankly, there wasn't anything to say. Everything's been kind of on hold and waiting. I finally got the engine, excuse me, the engine block back. They end up having to sleeve two of the cylinders on the driver's side, passenger side. I was thinking it was only going to be the one that they were going to have to do, but when they got it, they noticed the other one had a pretty good little ding in it. I guess it was worse than I had originally thought it was, so they ended up having to replace the two sleeves, and it took us a little while to figure out where the sleeves came from, because I ended up sending it to L&M because MMR said they were too busy and they're only sleeving brand new stuff. They're not re-sleeving anything right now because they're just too busy. So sent it out to L&M. They didn't recognize the sleeves. MMR thought it was this other brand, and they said no, they know that brand. So I talked to them again. I said, well, who were you using, 4+ years ago when we did this? And they thought, oh, LA Sleeves. So I talked to LA Sleeve, and he said, yep, they did order them from us. But they don't stock those sleeves normally. So I had to wait for them to do a custom run for me, and then was able to send them back out to L&M to get them to finish sleeving it. I don't know, had a few issues with L&M and what they charged and how they charged it, but it is what it is, I guess. I got the bill back, but I guess the only thing I would say would be, they seem to do good work. They're the ones where I got the cams from, and they were great to work with the cams, not a problem. The block, I don't know, I guess just watch your billing. So that got taken care of. Then I did get the cams sent off. I don't think I mentioned that last time. Got the cams sent off. They checked the timing. It was only about 3/4 of a degree off, which is kind of where I thought it was, because that's about as close as I was able to get. So I do know I timed them right. They did set the timing on the new cam as it got wore down by what happened. And so that is taken care of. The head has been gone this whole time too. For them to fix it, they were finally able to fix it. And that is taken care of. They were able to pull out that sleeve, or that little insert that I put in that one spark plug hole that they had fixed before that got messed up. And they were able to weld it and tap it, so we shouldn't have that issue anymore, because when they originally did it, they had just put a Healy coil in, and it came out the first time I went to change plugs or check the plugs. So that insert I put in kind of broke off, and so it wasn't quite right. So they actually welded it and did that. A couple of the valves got messed up, that I showed, I think, and they fixed that. It scratched up the head pretty good, so they were able to kind of weld on that and fix that, and didn't have to, thankfully, do too much with it. Just kind of build up the welds a little bit and then cut it off, or grind it down, so they didn't end up having to deck it, because they just went back down to the stock height, and were able to fix that. So that is good. They were getting ready to send it back to me. They found a couple other seals and springs that got a little messed up. They said, so we're getting that taken care of. They're going to do a valve job on it. They did say that if they're going to do a valve job on it, probably recommend doing a valve job on the other one. So I did get that boxed up. But a little tote to send it in, to make sure it gets sent securely, instead of just in a cardboard box. I thought, spend a little extra money to get a little tote and get it in there. So that'll get shipped out hopefully tomorrow, and then they'll do a valve job on that and get those back. Let's see what else. So trying to work with the wide body kit. As you can see, the tires are off the rims, because I had been talking to the gentleman that did the wide body kit on it and about getting it fixed. It's been 2 years now since I mentioned it to him that the wide body kit was wrong. And like I mentioned before, just can't get in with him. He always has a reason. He's busy, can't do it, can't do this, can't do that. He's busy. Things are taking longer than ever. It's been 2 years. Been fairly patient, I think, but I don't know what the deal is. So I messaged him and he said he had back surgery. And so he's been not doing anything, and it'll be spring before at the very earliest, before he'd be able to do anything, because he's just trying to get his back better. So I'd asked him about, getting, I thought I was going to have to get new rims then, because I'm like, well, something's got to get done. And I'd asked him about, did he have an invoice for that? He said, no, he didn't have the invoices anymore. I asked him if he could call the vendor. He said he did. And they don't have anything anymore either. So I ended up calling the vendor myself. And they said, oh, no, we have records that go all the way back, even before we merged with, they also had MHTs before they merged with them. So they like, oh, we got records going all the way back. Give them some information. They were able to dig up and find the exact specs on the rims and everything, the wheels. So everything was good there. And they actually said that because they're their rims and they were custom, that they would actually be able to send them to somebody and they would actually be able to fix the back spacing for me, so I wouldn't have to get new rims or new wheels. Not cheap necessarily, but cheaper than having those brand new ones made up. So that's good. That's cheaper than, like I said, two brand new wheels. So I figured out, had somebody help me, and we figured out that probably, about 3/4 of an inch in gives me about 1/8 of an inch, maybe not quite half an inch, a little over 1/8 of an inch to, a little bit more there before it would touch the shock in there. So it's going to be close, but that should pull me in 3/4 of an inch here. So hopefully it will be inside that lip, and so it won't rub or whatever. Not necessarily the perfect solution, but at this point, I want it done and taken care of. So I had messaged all that to the guy that did this, and basically saying, hey, in my mind, it's kind of a Band-Aid fix, but at this point, it's been 2 years. So, how about we just, you pay for the rims, for the wheels to be fixed, and we'll just call it an even, we'll just call it done and even at that point. And I thought maybe at some point later I may pay for this to be fixed, but at least it'll be usable, drivable, and won't be rubbing and, stress me out all the time, because it's rubbing and I'm always worried it's going to blow a tire and I can't really enjoy it or drive it because of that. And I never heard anything back from him, silence. And so I'm going to take that as the point that he's not interested in doing it. And I don't know if he was ever interested in fixing it, but I don't know. I guess, like I said, I, was willing to take this as a compromise, but I heard zero back from him. So I'm going to go forward with this, I guess, pay for it myself. And I don't know, I'm still thinking of what to do. I may end up having to take it to the next level, I guess, and, do something beyond that to get him to finally take care of it, because I paid good money to have this done and it's not right. And he just doesn't seem to want to fix it or even take the compromise that I had thought, which would be a heck of a lot cheaper than, him fixing it. But like I said, I may end up having to take it to the next step. But otherwise, I think that's kind of where we're at. So, like I said, got starting to get pieces back finally after, 4+ months, and can start getting things put back together and hopefully get her done. One thing we did find out with the heads is that I was wondering if something was wrong with the head or whatnot, but interesting enough, they said everything was good on their end as far as it was straight and whatnot, but they brought up a good point, which I'm thinking maybe the issue is that they had said, well, when they fixed it last time, when it got bent, and it was the exact same hole that had the problem again, the same cylinder, they asked, well, did you replace the rockers? And I'm like, I did not. Visually, they looked okay, so I did not replace them. That was probably a mistake on my part. Even though they visually looked okay, it's possible that maybe one of them was off, a 1/4 of a degree or something like that. And then that is what ended up wearing down and, causing all of the issues. I guess, it's very possible, I guess. So I'm going to end up replacing all the rockers this time, just to be on the safe side. I did replace that one, but I think I may replace all the rockers on that side, just to be on the safe side and to eliminate that. And that's also possible, I guess would kind of make sense then as to why the tuners that have helped me, have always said that they can't figure out why the air fuel ratio is not the same between banks, between sides. Sometimes it is, other times, it's off 10, 12%. And they're like, that just doesn't make any sense. Maybe 5% at the most, it should be a variance off, but it wasn't, and it was not. Well, if that one valve, if the roller was kind of sticking on it periodically and staying shut sometimes, staying open sometimes, that would probably explain why sometimes it was off, a significant amount, and other times it was on, because other times it was working and other times it was not. So that would probably explain that, I guess. So hopefully that was the entire issue with that, that we've been fighting with for, quite a while. And hopefully now that we know that, I get that stuff fixed and get all those, replace all those rockers, that when it goes back together, the two banks will be dead good, dead even, and hopefully it'll run even better. So that's kind of where we're at. Sorry, got a little bit of a long update, but like I said, it's been 4+ months, but hasn't been anything to report. But a lot of stuff starting to finally happen, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more updates now as start to put things together, and hopefully start getting ready here as spring is quickly approaching. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.